Hello, hello, hello. It is coffee time. I'm a little bit late because I was waiting for a video to render because you don't want the computer getting confused. Good news, everybody. Bank of England has held interest rates at 5.25%. I don't know. Is that good news? I don't know if that's good news or not. I don't know. Meanwhile, this is business news, busy news. Aviva used to be the Norwich Union, didn't it? Do you remember when it was the Norwich Union? No, they got rid of it. The chief executive of Aviva, Amanda Blanc, has revealed that senior white male recruits have to get a final sign-off from her. Yeah. And the chief people officer, as part of the firm's drive to improve diversity. The 56-year-old told MPs on the Treasury Select Committee there is no non-diverse hire at Aviva without it being signed off by me and the Chief People Officer. This was at the Sexism in the City inquiry yesterday. She added, not because I don't trust my team, but because I want to make sure that the process followed for that recruitment has been diverse, has been properly done, and is not just a phone call to a mate to say, would you like a job? Pop up and we'll fix it for you. So there you go. I think you'll find that is, again, I love this whole diversity thing. Diversity doesn't equal getting the job done properly, does it? I thought we lived in a meritocracy. We don't. Oh well. But yeah, this is the sexist and racist. Obviously, because it's only old white men she goes after, and ageist as well. Amanda Blanc. Yeah, all right. I think all these companies just want to fail. I think all of them do. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why this needs to be a thing. You should just employ people on how good they are. But hey, diversity. Meanwhile, is your dog gifted? Is your dog gifted even? I don't know why I'm bothered. Yeah, this is a new study from experts at ELTE. ELTE. I don't know if it's I don't know what it's in Budapest. Has revealed 14 even key characteristics of gifted dogs. Oh, this should be good. And it's not what you'd think. It's not what you'd think. There's a lovely little infogram here. I don't know if our dog features in any of these. Don't ask for dog cam because she's not in the room. So yeah, obtained from a breeder. Is that a good thing? Ours was from a working farm. Live with their owner from the age of 10 weeks or younger. No, we got ours at 2 because the previous people couldn't deal with her. Living in a single dog household. Well, that's good. Living with 2 adult caretakers. Yeah. Neutered and spayed. Yeah. Owners are not professional dog trainers. No. Owners did not own a gifted dog in the past. I don't know. It depends what you mean by gifted. Owners owned at least 1 dog in the past. Oh, I've ridden this horse before. Dogs learned the object labels by interacting with play sessions with their owners. Owners did not intentionally teach the dogs the toy names. Dogs require less than 30 minutes to learn a toy name. Dogs know at least 15 toy names. Dogs can learn over 50 toy names in 2 years. Owners play with their dogs with toys daily, hourly, more like. Well, again, our one can appear to be smart and then be incredibly daft. You know, that's my experience of dogs. You see, this is again. It would be a border collie, wouldn't it? This is Basket. Come here, you little Basket. And Basket obviously knows a lot of dog toy names. Border collies are supposed to be one of the most gifted breeds. We have one of those. Like I said, sometimes it can be clever, but sometimes incredibly dim. Sneezes. Don't like sneezes. Can't bang the spoon on the side of the pot. Yeah, so in the new study, the team set out to understand the specific characteristics of gifted world learners dogs. What a clumsy thing, GWL. Adam Micklosey, the professor and co-author of the study, said because GW dogs are so rare, until now there's only been anecdotes about their background. The rare ability to learn object names is the first documented case of talent in a non-human species. For 5 years, the researchers have searched around the world for GWL dogs. And yeah, this is it. The researchers found 41 GW dogs from 9 countries, including the US, UK, Brazil, Canada, Norway, the Netherlands, Spain, Portugal, and Hungary. And this is Brim with some of his favourite toys. It's like, you dare try and take my toys? I'll have you. I'll have you, or I will. And 56% of the dogs were border collies. But in this study, 2 Pomeranians, 1 Pekingese, 1 Shih Tzu, a Corgi and a Poodle, and a few mixed breeds were also found to be gifted. This dog's called Gadget. And again, another one is saying, yeah, you take my toys. This should have been the animal story of the day. This is Algie. I'm here for the dog pictures. So there you go. And yeah, dogs. So yeah, dogs could be. Dogs. Oh, is there somebody at the door? I don't know. Meanwhile, I've got court news. I don't know if we've covered this before. It feels familiar. This is Barry Harding. Barry Harding is he's a farm. Well, he's worked for the family farm. He says he worked since the age of 13 at Cornerfields Farm in Denham, in Buckinghamshire, which has been in the family for nearly 80 years. In fact, he was pulled out of school to look after his father's animals. But yeah, he's took his mother to court, right? He took his 76-year-old mother to court over a £1.4 million battle over the family farm. Again, Harding says having to look after the pigs even as a child meant he was prevented from going to school and achieving any educational attainments. He also claims it was his investments of time, labour and money that turned the farm into success. And his father died in 2017, and he subsequently fell out with his mother, Joan, who left the farm, claiming Barry had made her life there unbearable. And here he is going to court. And here's his mother. You join a fag. That's what we like to see. So yeah, she said he made his life. He made her life there unbearable, and she later sued him, claiming for £600,000 from her son over accusations that he excluded her from the land and exerted undue influence, whilst getting her to sign her share of the family farm to a trust in 2008. But after a hearing at Central London County Court, Judge Mark Ryside, KC, threw out Mrs Harding's allegations and dismissed her claim for the £600,000 compensation. They said that the claim was unsustainable, but said that she would be due a much smaller payment to be decided at a later date for being excluded from the farmland since 2017. So yeah, it's all. I mean, here's a picture of the farm. But yeah, Barry contested the claim, saying the business had been of no value when he took it over, and his parents had no money to contribute. But yeah, so he reckons it was all his hard work, and the judge dismissed all her claims. So he was victorious. He was victorious in his court case. Ping. Meanwhile, poor old Putin, he's been humiliated, I reckon. During the end of year press conference that he holds, he was bombarded with messages, text messages telling him to quit and asking, why is your reality at odds with ours? And they appeared on a screen for everyone to see. Obviously, you could text in your question to Putin. I imagine lots of people bought burner phones. That message said, "Don't run for another term as president. Make way for the young." Burn, savage burn. So yeah, I reckon there was an unprecedented demand for burner phones as people sent in their messages. This one said, "This question won't be shown. I'd like to know, when will our president pay attention to his own country? We've got no education, no healthcare. The abyss lies ahead." Burn. Why is your reality at odds with our lived reality? That message said. He took it all in his stride. So this question asks, can you win a war while being in active defence? But yeah. As he walked onto the stage, a message appeared behind him saying, "We live almost without electricity. Our appeals have not changed anything. The only hope remains is that it's in you." But he doesn't seem to be wanting to do anything. I don't think he gives a fig. He lives in his own world, doesn't he? Much goes. He's here, he's saying, "Me, little old me, I've done nothing wrong." But yeah, I'm sure he'll somehow win another election, and he'll win again. Meanwhile, wedding news. Who likes expensive weddings? We had a cheap wedding. That's why it lasted so long. But yeah, the wedding between a dashing army officer and his glamorous teacher bride ended in chaos. Here they are. Why did it end in chaos? What happened? Let us know, Darren. Don't keep us hanging on in suspense. Captain Connor Lister tied the knot with his longtime girlfriend, teacher Hayley Howard, at a beautiful country setting in rural Staffordshire. But yeah, it all went up when there was a brawl at the reception. I mean, everything looks like it was going so well. But yeah, apparently there was a massive brawl. There are no pictures. I want to see the pictures, but this is where it was. This was held at the Tawny Hotel in Staffordshire, which is described as very beautiful and upmarket. Not for the likes of us, then, missus. Not for the likes of us common folk. So one of the witnesses says it had been a beautiful day, wonderful party, but suddenly it kicked off after midnight when people were starting to leave. One of the female guests got upset about something and was crying. This guy started to get angry, apparently thinking that she was spoiling the atmosphere of the big day, and he was quite rude and forceful with her. Then her boyfriend took offence at the way this bloke was talking to her and told him to stop, which at a point the guy turned on him and started punching him. It flared up very quickly. Then lots of people intervened, trying to stop it. Then everyone spilled outside. There was some more commotion in the area outside the hotel. I'm not sure who called the police, but suddenly cops in uniform turned up, and then they nicked the guy who'd started it all. But yeah, I mean, without pictures, did it really happen? I need pictures. I need handheld video footage. Come on, Daily Mail. A spokesman for the police said a 28-year-old man from Wiltshire was arrested on suspicion of a fraud at a property at Consall, Staffordshire. He was given a community resolution. I wonder what that is. Obviously, that's promise never to spoil any weddings again. There you go. Meanwhile, Christmas dinner in crisis. We had the is it which one was it? Which is that canal? Is it the Panama Canal? Or is it the Suez Canal? Suez Canal. Which one? Which canal was it? There was a canal that dried up. Do you remember where all the containers were going through? Anyway, it's nothing to do with that. Watch out. Your Christmas dinner could be ruined because there's a shortage of broccoli and cauliflower. Yes. Relentless wet weather and storms in October have been blamed for flooding of farms, which has delayed the crop and harvesting process for those vegetables. And Britons could face empty shelves over the festive period. A Lincolnshire farmer, Martin Tate, was speaking on the radio. He said there won't be enough broccoli to supply Christmas dinner, and he manages 18,000 acres of land. He said cauliflower is still a problem, and you can expect to see empty trays over the next few weeks. Oh my God, and there's a stock image of some collie and some broccoli, just in case you've forgotten what it's been so long, you've forgotten what it looks like. And here's Christmas dinner, just in case you've forgotten what one of those look like. Because I imagine many of you living on your own, you probably get that. Was it Christmas dinner in a tin? Don't you? You probably get one of those because you only live on your own. Yeah. So yeah, Chris Gedney, he's the CEO of TH Clements, who happens to be one of the country's largest suppliers of Brussels sprouts. Well, there you go. You learn something every day. He's got 11,000 acres. They're always bragging, isn't it? In Lincolnshire and 1,000 in Cornwall. He said the larger ones tend to fall in the water and rot during downpours. So there you go. That's the size of Brussels sprouts. If they're too big, they will rot. Again, I have no problem there being a shortage of Brussels sprouts. They're like the devil's hemorrhoids, aren't they? They really are. You've got to be like a heavy smoker and enjoy a big glass of port before having a Brussels sprout and a big cigar and a glass of port. That's the one. Fred Searle of the Fresh Produce Journal, a good read. It's a fun read. Warned that shortages could even continue for months after Christmas. He said the British potato harvest has been hit heavy by the rain and flooding that's happened this autumn, leading to large losses of crops. Oh man! And here's somewhere that's been flooded. That's Stamford Bridge, flooded by the River Derwent. There we go. So just have to get frozen veg then, wouldn't you? What we got here? This is the Hippodrome Circus was in Great Yarmouth, and we got some. Should we go to the circus? Oh, I wouldn't mind going to the circus. It's one of those ones where they have acrobats and everything. So we see, this looks kind of good, doesn't it? Oh, I'm enjoying this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that weren't good. Yeah, he fell off. He fell 30 foot from the Wheel of Death. I wonder why they call it that. Yeah, it's the and the audience screamed. The acrobat was rushed to hospital, and they reckon they may have life-changing injuries after falling on 16 foot from the giant Wheel of Death during a circus act. Video footage from members of the audience at the Hippodrome Circus in Great Yarmouth, they were gasping in horror. And one witness said the acrobat collided with metal scaffolding and smashed to the ground. The acrobat in their 20s fell during the 6:30 p.m. performance, and the show was stopped immediately, and the police and ambulance called. And yeah, they reckon he suffered broken bones but was conscious when the incident struck. And he was accompanied by his partner, who was happened to be his brother in the act, and he went to hospital with him. In a statement, the circus said during the 6:30 performance of the Christmas Spectacular, one of our stunt performers fell from the large performance wheel. Before he remained conscious, but it was clear he sustained some injuries. So a decision was made for the show to be stopped for the evening and the public exited. The artist in question received immediate medical attention. Paramedics then moved him to a medical facility with a further evaluation. We're under the impression he's in a stable condition and has been evaluated overnight. Any more about his condition? No. Yeah. Just the East of England ambulance service said one patient was transported to James Paget Hospital in Gorleston with serious injuries. But yeah, the organisers said to people in future going there, don't expect it to happen every night. It wasn't part of the show. That's a joke. Meanwhile, good news everybody. 28,000 extra deaths were recorded. That's more than 1,000 a week in the first 6 months of the year. Hooray! More people are dying. Good. And it's the spike in mortality is struck people aged between 50 and 64. Yeah, hundreds of more middle-aged Brits are dying every month than expected. Yes. But yeah, it's here we go. Look at that. You can see. Oh, it doesn't pop. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping it would make it bigger. This is an interactive graph. Look, if I look, isn't that good? That's good, Daily Mail. I've not seen that before. As you can see, let's see, a little bit excessive there. Should have been a little bit lower there, but I reckon it's just our lifestyle. Again, the lockdown and the COVID period has encouraged many people to take up bad habits like drinking. But most of the deaths were caused by largely preventable illnesses, including heart disease, liver damage, and diabetes. Experts pointed to Britain's ever-expanding waistline alcohol intake. I don't drink, as well as the beleaguered health service for failing to treat patients fast enough. So there you go. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll smooth out eventually, won't it? Meanwhile, this is the story of Ruth Schmilo. What a great name. Schmilo. I'm going to say that again. Schmilo. And she's in court at the moment, right? Because, well, she was a female prison officer who had phone sex with a convicted gangster and insisted on wearing skin-tight trousers to work. And she's also accused of having a relationship with a second inmate. Head of security Dan Heyman said Ruth Schmilo chose not to wear prison-issue uniform, and he said, well, her own skin-tight trousers, which left very little to the imagination. Again, pictures or it didn't happen. She was questioned over her flirtatious behaviour months after starting her role at HMP Park in Bridgend, South Wales. She denies the charges against her, which of misconduct in public office. Let's have a look at her. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, she just flipped us the bird. I don't know if that's right, do you? Are there any other pictures? Okay. And he's one of the people she's flirted with. Schmilo claims she's felt pressured and trapped by this convicted drug dealer. But they've been through a social media. You can tell they've really been through the social media there. She admitted having phone sex with the drug dealer Harry Pullen, who we just saw, and meeting with his mother during their alleged behind bars romance before he was moved 200 miles to HMP Manchester. The romance was discovered after calls were recorded in the weeks after she left her job, and she was also seen on CCTV blowing a kiss to a prisoner, and actually says was embarrassed by and called a silly mistake. So yeah, this is Yeah, it's just, yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, the trial, which is expected to last 5 days, continues. I'm sure we'll hear more. We'll hear more from that. What else have we got? Meanwhile, we're going to America. This is Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. Oh, Michelle Wu, what can I do? I've got the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu blues, because she was holding a non-whites holiday party. Okay. Yeah, and she was only found out because they mistakenly sent invitations to all 30 members of the city council, then had to retract the invites sent to white people. Obviously, she's done it before, and no whites allowed. But yeah, it was defiant in the face of criticism over elected of colour holiday party, which is held in the city-owned building on Wednesday night. Speaking outside the event at the city's Parliament House, Wu claimed to members of the media that some of the folks who are concerned might also just not have all the information. She defended the No Whites event and said there are countless examples of representative groups based on race, both citing the Congressional Black Caucus in Washington DC as an example. Yeah, but this is like a Christmas. Isn't this a Christmas party? I don't know. But yeah, the segregated holiday party for elected of colour had been held for years in Boston, but came under scrutiny this year after it was mistakenly sent to everyone. Shh, you're not supposed to let them know. And she's defending. Now, I'm sure you can always tell something's wrong if you flip it. So if they had no black party, it'd be wrong, wouldn't it? So that's how you know when something is wrong. If you just flip it and it feels wrong, you just invert the thing. So there you go. That's being progressive for you. Oh dear. What else have we got? Meanwhile, serious business for the Irish president, Leo Varadkar, confirmed last night that Santa's been granted leave to cross the border. Yes, he's been given permission to enter Irish airspace with his sled and reindeer to deliver Christmas presents. Yeah, this is real. This really happened. I mean, I know it's fun, but really. And yeah, so it's really good news. And of course, when they got a statement from Santa, he said he was delighted. Not after the last time when he was bombarded by Donner and Blitzen. Oh wait, no, that was the name of the reindeer, wasn't it? But yeah, so that's good news, isn't it? All the little Irish children will be getting their presents. So that's great. What else have we got? I have a follow-up to yesterday's story. Remember we saw the car owner who was slammed into a wall, right? It was Amir Fahadi who tried to stop the thief. Again, they've actually got the whole footage here. We can watch it again, and here we go. We've got the whole clip today. So here's the thief. See, his car was running because he was trying to defrost his car, and he left the door unlocked. And he's gone out there. Obviously, he's seen the guy in his car, got him, and oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. That is. My goodness. So yeah, he stole his Vauxhall Insignia estate. Speaking at the family's home in Doncaster, his wife said on his behalf, "My husband only came out of hospital last night. He faces more surgery in the future. It's very difficult to view the video at the moment. He's traumatised and needs time to recover." Yeah, he had to undergo emergency surgery and has spent a few days in hospital. And here is Mr. Fardy with his wife in happier times. Let's hopefully he recovers. Because, I mean, to be slammed into a wall like that, I mean, God, it's going to hurt your back, isn't it? And at least, any news from the police? No, again, there's no comment. They asked for a comment from the South Yorkshire Police, but nothing. Meanwhile, Winter Wonderland's in trouble. But why are they in trouble? Is it because it's so expensive? No, it's because some of the posters that they put up are, I don't know what you'd say. I guess you'd say racially insensitive. Again, sporting imagery that we are, well, not used to seeing. And again, it's had many complaints, and they've had to apologise. They've had to apologise. Again, they were featured in a TikTok video, which was viewed 60,000 times. Nasli Radboy, I don't know if that's his real name or his TikTok username, said she did a double take when she noticed a minstrel performance poster during the visit to Winter Wonderland on December the 6th. She just was gobsmacked. And here's the full detail of the posters. Again, that's a bit daft to leave those in. A spokesman for Winter Wonderland said, after being made aware of the offensive imagery on the vintage vinyl wall covering at one of the venues in Hyde Park, Winter Wonderland, we took immediate action to remove it from several posters. The experience and well-being of our visitors is our utmost priority. We apologise for any upset caused. Anyway, this is we did cover this earlier in the year about two nurses, Catherine Hudson and Charlotte Wilmot. Here they are, and they were accused of drugging patients, and their case has come up. That's resolved itself. And basically they were accused of targeting patients if they disliked them, or if their relatives, they weren't a fan of relatives, and drugged them for an easy life. They were earlier found guilty of the ill treatment of stroke patients in Blackpool Victoria Hospital. Hudson illegally sedated two patients and conspired with junior colleague Wilmot to sedate a third, and they did this for their own amusement. Well, anyway, they've both been jailed for a total of 10 years and 2 months. Yeah, Hudson was sentenced to 7 years, 2 months, and Wilmot received a 3-year sentence. So yeah. One of their victims was Eileen Scott. I mean, it just brings the whole health industry into disrepute. You can't trust these people, can you? How long have I done? Oh God, I feel I've done too long. I mean, I've already done an animal story, haven't I? Meanwhile, good news, everybody. Do you watch The Crown? You watch The Crown? Well, they've only gone and done it. They've recreated Prince Has dressed as a Nazi. Result. They went there. Fantastic. Oh dear. I've never watched an episode, but that just tickled me. It's just, oh dear. Meanwhile, we have more sports news. This is Dieter Hedman. She is she's a leading female dance star. Here she is. At the hockey, with Dieter Hedman, she's come out very controversially and said she wants the men banned. Yeah, because they're trans women playing, you see. Victoria Monaghan became the first trans player to feature at the WDF Women's World Darts Championship. Yeah, there you go. And Dieter said no. She's saying, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. And she's right. Stay in your lane, men. But yeah, the WDF are apparently worried of legal challenges and needed scientific proof if a trans player has an advantage over biological women. Well, yeah. And this follows Lynn Pinches, who abandoned a pool. Was it a snooker or pool tournament earlier this year? Yes, she is, because again she was matched against a man, and she said no, I'm not playing it. And you're going to see more of this, because this whole stupid ideology is ruining everything for women. And you know, these mediocre men, they do it just because they can dominate women in their own sport, and it ain't right. It ain't right. And you're going to read more of this. It just isn't right. I haven't got anything else going on. Oh, some pretty horrible stories there. Good news, everybody. Almost all peaches, grapes and strawberries sold in the UK contain a cocktail of pesticides. Yeah, apparently they've singled out a dirty dozen of fruit and veg. And there's a lovely little graph. This is the residue result from 2022. And yeah, it's put you right off your peaches and your grapes and your strawberries. Lettuce in at 39 there. There you go. So pesticides. They wonder why people are dying young. And if you don't know what, there you go. There's some pesticides. There you go. That's the flavour. Surely that's the flavour. But yeah, this was a campaign group, Pesticide Action Network, which have been analysing the annual reports. Pesticide prevalence in 2022 was the highest since it began. Its assessments in 2018, the organisation said. My goodness. So Nick Mull, policy officer at PAN, which is the pesticide group, said this year's results show that just like our rivers, much of our food is increasingly contaminated with pesticide cocktails. We have no idea what the ongoing exposure to tens or even hundreds of different chemicals is doing to health over a long term. Again, I imagine premature death, reduction of fertility, those kind of things. That'd be fine. It'll be fine. Oh look, you know what I was saying earlier? We've got another story. This time from Australia. This time it's the world of croquet. Apparently, Jamie Gumbrell from Canberra won the Women's Golf Croquet Championship in August, but it's emerged that the 23-year-old used to be a fella, and he won. Or she won, or he won. I'm confused, but yeah, I think there's Adam's apple there. So, but yeah, and of course this has caused all sorts of uproar But yeah, the World Croquet Federation changed its rules 2 years ago, permitting competitors to nominate their own gender. Remember, gender is very different from sex. Sex is not gender. But rivals have spoken out against him, reporting that some competitors were unaware they would be competing against a biological male in the tournament in Sussex. So he's an Australian. Oh, it's held over here. So it's the world thing. They all argued that Gumbel had advantages in strength because he was born a male. Sue Lightbody, member of the England team at the World Championship, said there was a huge amount of disquiet, but nobody was prepared to do or say anything. I was quite sick about the situation. We thought it would go against us and that we wouldn't be picked for another team. Everything was hush-hush. Everyone was worried about being called transphobic. People told me not to get involved, saying, don't do anything, you'll make yourself very unpopular. But this just shouldn't happen. It's fundamentally unfair. And again, Ian Burridge, who's the president of the WCF, said the fact that Jamie was assigned male at birth, no, observed, not assigned, observed male, because Peepers is not disputed by anyone. Now identifies as a female, and it's a policy approved by our members. However, since identifying as female, Gumbel has won every tournament he's competed in. Gee, I wonder why. Lightbody added that Gumbel's strength advantage was unfair. A key shot in golf croquet, she said, is the jump shot. If you're on the boundary, you can jump over a couple of balls and get through a hoop. I can only do mid-jumps. I can't do it from the baseline, but Jamie can. And that's a huge advantage over women. So there you go. It's all happening. It's all happening again. Told you it'd keep going on, didn't I? You're not going to hear the end of it. Oh, and we'll end with this one. This is... Oh, just... It makes you feel proud. It makes you feel proud to be a Brit. For it's the best Prime Minister we ever had. Boris Johnson's Father Christmas decorating his tree with Wilf at his father's feet. Unfortunately, Boris doesn't know how many kids were there again. He's still not sure. But there we go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. And I'm sure afterwards he emptied his sack into carry once more, because we'll have another one. And more Boris children. We need more of them. And that'll do, pig. I've done a dog story. I did it. I should have done it at the end, shouldn't I? Got it wrong. Chris is in. So how long would it take a gifted dog to write Shakespeare on a typewriter? Well, you'd need an infinite amount of gifted dogs to do that. Luke asks, when did you first begin to learn to play the guitar? I've never learnt to play the guitar. Haven't you heard any of my music? Payne says, Putin isn't put out. He wasn't affected at all. And he adds, all those children crying because I didn't have broccoli for Christmas. Such a sad situation. Or Brussels sprouts for that matter. Payne says, the acrobat is in a stable condition. I know, he should have been. I don't think putting him on some straw will help. Oh, he should have been in a stable condition. That's the gag you should have done. It would have been okay if he'd have been in a stable condition. He was in an unstable condition. That's what made him fall. Oops. Osborne says, are you a Suede fan? I always thought they were a bit... Payne says, nice to see the elves and leprechauns working in harmony, indeed. And Andrew says, hello, I'm in. He's in. Simon says, I could tell that was a bloke. Cock and bollocks, that's all you need to know, isn't it? Dog cam, no, she's not in the room. She's outside. Anyway, we'll end it there. I think I'll have offended everyone today. Oh, God. It feels a bit parky today. It feels a bit cold. And Andrew adds, happy Xmas to you and your gang, and same to you. It's not quite Christmas yet. It's a bit early. Got another so many days, another days to go. You know, but yeah, Christmas. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel one video at a time. You know, you've got to drink it up. Mark asks, is Rishi in or out in your opinion next year? it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's in or out, does it? It's whether or not he makes it to the election, because he may be the election may be earlier than you think, because they're trying to oust him at the moment over this Rwanda policy. I don't care who gets in. It's all same shit, different colour. So who cares? I don't care. But it's good when your politicians actually know what a woman is. So Kemi Badenoch yesterday, fucking class act. And with that, we'll leave it there. Yeah, drink it up.